Have you ever wondered about the myths and legends that exist beyond the borders of the Western world? The stories of heroes, monsters, and gods that may have been passed down from generations in other cultures can be just as fascinating and captivating as those from Greek or Roman mythology. Have you ever explored the equally fascinating realm of Japanese mythology? With a pantheon of deities, legendary creatures, and captivating tales, Japanese mythology is very rich and unique, which is sure to intrigue and delight. So, if you're ready for a journey into a world of divine beings and mythical adventures, let's dive into the realm of Japanese mythology together. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Long ago in Japan, people believed in many goddesses and gods. These goddesses and gods were a part of the conventional folklore from Shinto. Shinto is one of Japan's main religions where people believe in many goddesses and gods, just like in Hinduism. No one knows who the founder of Shinto is or what specific rules people must follow. Instead, it evolved into a belief. As time went on, Buddhism and Hinduism began to influence these beliefs. Most of the Japanese goddesses and gods are dependent on the kami. That is the land's mythological spirits and spiritual beings. The very first ones were written down in books called Kohikyo and Nihon Shoki around the start of the 8th century. These books helped to standardize mythology and serve as a template for most parts of Japan. Izanami and Izanagi. Now, let's learn about the most powerful gods of Japanese mythology. So, we're starting with Izanami and Izanagi, and they're known as Japanese primordial gods of creation. Izanagi and Izanami were brothers and sisters, and together they created the first landmass called Onogoro. It is said that they did this by stirring the turbulent oceans beneath their special spear while standing on a bridge to heaven. But their first child, Hiruku, was born deformed. Despite this, they went on for creating more landmasses. Also, give birth to over 800 other divine beings. Sadly, Izanami died while bringing the fire god Kagutsuchi into the world and went beneath the land. As expected, Izanagi was filled with grief and decided to follow her there. He managed to convince the older gods to let Izanami get back into the living world. However, Izanagi was impatient and looked at his sister before she was fully restored. He was astonished to see that she looked similar to a decaying corpse. This caused a group of angry gods to chase Izanagi out of there. He barely escaped by obstructing the gateway with a massive stone. Later, Izanagi performed a ritual for cleansing to purify himself from the experience. During the ritual, goddesses and gods like the goddesses of the sun Amaterasu and the moon god Tsukiyomi and the god of sun Susanoo were created by accident. Yebisu. Earlier, we talked about Hiruku. He was the firstborn of Izanagi and Izanami. But he was born in bad shape. In some stories, later, Hiruku was thought to be the same as Yebisu, who was a god of fishermen and good luck. They changed the story to make Yebisu fit in with the other Japanese deities. Hiruku and Yebisu was born without a skeleton and put in the ocean when he was 3. Luckily, he washed up on shore where a man named Yebisu Saburo found him. The child went through many challenges and eventually became the god of children, wealth, fishermen, and good fortune. Some people think Yebisu is one of the most important gods of the 7 fortune gods. Yebisu is special because he's always happy even when bad things happen. Kagutsuchi was also known as Humusubi, which means he who starts fire. He was born to Izanagi and Izanami. One day, something terrible happened. Kagutsuchi's fiery powers accidentally burned his own mother, Izanami, and she passed away. Kagutsuchi's father, Izanagi, was filled with anger and wanted to take revenge for his wife's death. He severed Kagutsuchi's head in a fit of rage. When he did so, the god's blood spilled out onto the ground. From that spilled blood, many other powerful gods were born. There were mountain gods, martial thunder gods, and even a dragon god among them. Kagutsuchi's death, while tragic, helped bring the birth of many new and potent deities. These gods brought forth many things in Japan, including iron and weapons, and so Kagutsuchi became known as the forebearer for many gods and a symbol of creation and destruction in Japanese mythology. Amaterasu is a goddess believed to be the ruler of the realm of the gods and the goddess of the sun. She is also considered to be the Japanese imperial family's mythical ancestor. According to one myth, Amaterasu was the result of Izanagi's left eye being cleansed. Another popular myth tells how Amaterasu shut herself away in a cave after a fight with the god of sun, which plunged the world into darkness. The other Japanese deities convinced her to leave the cave, and her radiant light returned to the world. In Japanese culture, numerous noble families claim lineage from Amaterasu. After the Meiji Restoration, the Shinto state religion made Amaterasu even more important in Japanese culture, which was in line with its beliefs. Tsukiyomi. The moon god in Japanese Shinto is a man named Tsukiyomi. He is known as one of the Mythology-no-Uzume and is Amaterasu's brother. Many stories say that he was born as a result of washing Izanagi's right eye. In the mythical writing, Tsukiyomi, the moon god, married Amaterasu, who was his sister. This allowed both the moon and the sun to exist in the same sky. Their relationship was ruined when Tsukiyomi murdered Uki-moki, who was the food goddess. Japanese mythology says that Tsukiyomi was disgusted when he saw Uki-mochi spit out a variety of food. As a result, Amaterasu moved to other parts of the sky, completely separating day and night. Susanoo was born from Izanagi's nose. He was known for his wild and unpredictable mood swings, which were said to be connected to his power over storms. He also had control over the winds and seas close to the coast, where several of his shrines are located in southern Japan. In Japanese folklore, Susanoo was famous for defeating an evil dragon named Yamada-no-Orochi. He cut off all 10 of the dragon's heads after getting them drunk on alcohol. Susanoo recovered a famous sword called Kusanagi no Saguri and won the woman he ended up saving from the dragon's clutches. However, Susanoo was also known for his conflict with his sister, Amaterasu. During one incident, Susanoo destroyed Amaterasu's rice fields and killed one of her companions, which made her very angry. Amaterasu went into a deep cave, which caused the world to lose her divine light. For this, Susanoo was then kicked out of heaven. Raijin and Fūjin. Raijin and Fūjin are two powerful gods of nature. Raijin is the god of thunder and lightning, and he uses his hammer and drums to create storms. He has 3 fingers, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. Fūjin is the god of winds and carries his winds on his shoulders in a bag. He once saved Japan by creating a big storm that stopped a Mongol invasion. Some think that Fūjin was inspired by a Greek wind god called Boreas. Ame-no-Uzume. Ame-no-Uzume was a female god who helped Amaterasu. She was known for liking nature and being happy. Ame-no-Uzume was also the goddess of performing arts and creativity, like dancing. In one story, Amaterasu was angry and went into a deep cave, which made the world dark. So Ame-no-Uzume tried to make the other deities happy so they wouldn't be worried. She wore leaves and danced, even removing her clothes, which made the other deities laugh. Finally, Amaterasu came out of the cave and the world was bright again. Hachiman. Hachiman is a god representing the mix of 2 religions, Buddhism and Shinto. He is mainly worshipped as the god of battle, archery, heritage, and literature divination. Around the 9th century, when the first Buddhist shrines were built in Japan, Hachiman became more important. He is also seen as a Bodhisattva, which is a Buddhist god who protects many sacred sites in Japan. Hachiman is known for his connection to war and culture, as he was said to have helped Japanese society. Some people believe that one of his forms was Empress Jingu. She invaded Korea, and another was her child, Emperor Hohin, who invited scholars from China and Korea to his court. Inari. Inari is a god in the Shinto religion who is often shown as both male and female. This god is linked to rice fields, which are a symbol of wealth, farming, and a lot of crops. Inari is also a patron of merchants, tradespeople, entertainers, and swordsmiths. According to some stories, Inari is the child of Susanoo. Inari's gender is not always clear in depictions. Sometimes Inari is an old man, and at other times Inari is a woman with a fox's head who is followed by foxes. Inari is associated with other Shinto gods such as Hetsuru no Kami, who is the goddess of the kitchen, and Yuki Mochi, who is numerous noble families. Kannon. The Buddhist tradition has influenced the gods of Japan, and Kannon is among the most significant. People in Japan believe that Kannon is a god of mercy, compassion, and pets. Kannon is a Bodhisattva, and it is interesting to note that Kannon's figure is believed to be derived from an Indian god named Avakashalavara. In Japan, some gods, like Kannon, have different forms, including feminine ones. For example, Koyuso Kannon represents child-giving, while Jibo Kannon represents a caring mother. Kannon is also important in other religions in Japan. In Shinto, Kannon is Amaterasu's companion, and in Christianity, Kannon is venerated as Marie Kannon, which is similar to the Virgin Mary. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button and like our videos.